Today, we will talk about the 5 common mistakes people make in small business and how to fix them. I will throw my hands up. I've made every single one of these mistakes and I've mostly fixed them. Hi, and welcome to the Small Business Podcast for small businesses, where we share tips, tricks, and information for all business owners to help you grow, work on your business, and basically do the bits you have to do when in business. And I thought today we will talk about the 5 common mistakes people make in small business and how to fix them. I will throw my hands up. I've made every single one of these mistakes and I've mostly fixed them. So mistake number 1, which is really, really common in small business, is knowing your numbers. And it's really, really easy to just coast on whether your bank account's in the red or the black. And I've been guilty of this. And you get 3 or 6 months down the line and I've got no idea what's going on. So it's really, really important to know your numbers. So whether it's once a week or once a month, to have just a little sit, reset, go through whether it's just looking at your bank account, whether it's just you've got some accounting software or you do everything on a spreadsheet, but just knowing where you are at. Have you made money? Do you have people to pay? Do you have any outstanding debts for anything? Can your business run as it stands now? If you paid everything off, would there be money in the account? And I think that's really, really important to just know.
I think there's a lot of sleepless nights caused by that alone, isn't it? I think it's easy to be in the thick of it and doing the job, whatever that contains. But yeah, if you kind of not at least having that little sense check every month just to see, right, what's coming in, what's going out, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Then yeah, really, really important. And yeah, hands up, massively guilty of not knowing my numbers quite often.
Well, I think it's really easy to fall to the bottom of the list as well.
Yeah.
So you're like doing your client work, knowing what you're doing the in and outs and whatever. No one chases you to know your numbers. No one's like, you've got no accountability there apart from knowing if you've got money or not.
And then with that time of year where you're speaking to your bookkeeper or your accountant.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, I probably should do a review. And then, yeah, a bit more glaringly obvious than you perhaps being a bit more ostrich-like and just getting on with it and ignoring that, pushing it to one side.
But the people I know or work with who do know their numbers and they're on it are just so successful just by knowing what their ins and outs are and what they're doing. They're just, they're there. It's a good thing to do. Number 2 mistake, and I've definitely been guilty of this, is trying to be everything to everyone. It could be so tempting to everyone's my client, everyone's my customer, who's your target market, everybody. You just want business from anyone and everyone. And I'll tell you now, you don't at all. And that's from a lot of experience of trying to help customers that just can't or won't be helped. They think they know what they want, but they don't know what they want, or they don't respect your opinion or advice. But also, you'll find the more you niche down and the more you find your target market, A, it'll be more pleasant to who you're dealing with. B, you'll get your pricing and your costing right. And C, then you repeatedly attract the same person. You find your person in your target market. And that's really, really important.
I mean, this is something, again, that I'm still working out, but it's like sometimes people will approach you and they're all enthusiastic and suggest something to you, but isn't quite the right fit. And it's that whole kind of analogy of square peg, round hole. You try and try to make something work, and it ends up being more of a pain in the backsides than what you realise. You then perhaps have underquoted because you haven't kind of detailed the amount of work that goes in or some of the complications that you run into. So I think really important that it's okay to say no to stuff. I think that's something that I've learned. Recently I got approached by somebody who wanted me to work on something which sounded like a great project, and they were super enthusiastic, and I probably could have done it, but equally I just said no. Like, it's it's not right for me right at the moment, and a polite kind of, or perhaps this other person would be being the one for you. But
And I think you have to be honest. It's like when we had someone come into us for a website once, and their budget was 10 grand.
yeah, so
And you think, oh wow, we're in, we can do that, but we couldn't have managed that. That would have, and wouldn't have given 100% service. Wouldn't have been that good. So we sent them down the road. We gave the company a heads up. We were sending them there. Just say, look up, we've recommended you, so please look after them, because it's just not something. But it could have been so tempting to go. And I am of the opinion of say yes now, work it out later. But there's different levels of that, of what you can do. Yeah. And where customers are involved, if you get that feeling in your stomach that you're like, I don't know, it's probably a no. What do they say? If it's not a hard yes, it's a no. It has to be a, yep, we're in, we're doing this. Because otherwise you'll resent the work, you'll procrastinate over it, and you won't want to do it. So it's not a good thing to be everything to everyone. But I think it's quite scary to think, oh, if I niche down, okay, I'm going to attract plumbers in this area. And that you might be able to talk their language, you might be able to work with them, and that's fine. But you could work with all of them, because it's easier then. You just replicate what you're doing. Because if one size does fit all in that case, you adapt it to their tone and branding, and there's a lot more behind that. But it might be that you work with working mums, or you work with guys of a certain age or time in their life, or it could be anything. But once you've found that person, you will find you would naturally attract those people, and you'll grow quicker than going yes and just be open to everyone.
And I think by doing that as well, you can get like a stronger portfolio and a stronger kind of brand reputation for yourself. Because like if we take video as the broad topic of video, like, right, you do video. Okay, yeah, but which kind of video are we talking about? Is it the short, like Mr. Beast, really hard, fast cuts and super fast paced, and trying to keep that person's attention with like the edits? Have we got that same energy compared to a sit down corporate video? Very different thing. Or even like a charity. You've worked with a couple of charities, and they're just a totally different feeling. And yes, you can do video, but it's not the same kind.
Yes. So. And I think that comes in that then if you're trying to be everything to everyone, your messaging gets missed. You can't message. The same marketing and branding will not attract the same people. Like this podcast, it's a small business podcast for small businesses. That's what it is. Although arguably when I say small business, some people are like, you mean macro or micro? Okay, that's like, funnily enough, when people use the term small businesses, they don't go by the dictionary Google confirmation, but that's a whole lot. Let's not rant about that now. Number 3, mistakes you make. Undercharging. 100% do it, probably still do it. But again, going back to, you're trying to attract everyone. And when I started out, oh my word, I don't know how I didn't make any money. It's part of the problem. But I don't know how you make money, and it's got to be realistic. And it's so easy to undercharge. But once you find out this is my charges and stick to it, and you're confident with it, people will pay it. And it's almost that bonus thing, like, oh, someone's paid it. It just blows my mind. But as well, undercharging is it's a whole bigger topic of pricing and setting out your pricing. It's very, very common of people that are making products as well. They'll undercharge because they don't take into account their time of making the product. Then just like, well, I've made it. The bottle was this. The stuff was the X. This was Y. So, it must be £5 a bottle.
But it took you 3 days.
Yeah, it took them 3 days to make that one bottle. It's like, not really. But ultimately, it must be pretty bloody special if it took you 3 days to make it. So you can charge hundreds for it. And I always like the Tiffany do a paper clip, and it's a couple of £100.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to look that up so we can reference it. But people buy it. People will buy. So think of all those top brands. So again, there's a whole other thing going into how much you're charging, your quality of service, etc., etc. But you cannot undercharge. You're making a living. You've got to pay for food.
I think the other thing we've spoken about before is like people, when you undercharge, people respect what you do a little bit less. And
Yes, 100%. Why are you that cheap?
And why are you that cheap? Either to put them off of working with you in the first place,
Yeah.
or potentially like the people who are looking for the bargain deal are the people who will also cause you a little bit more work in respect of like they want as much value as they possibly can, so they're going to try and squeeze absolutely everything out of that particular offer as possible. So again, probably could talk about this for a whole podcast.
Maybe we should break these down
Yeah.
for the one episode per mistake. But you're right, it is. It's that comes from market research. Who else is doing what you do? How much are they charging? What's their level of service? What's included? How does it? And it's very easy to. And what do they say? If you undercut each other, it's just a race to the bottom anyway. Then no one's going to make any money.
Yeah.
And I talk about it. I've got a couple of construction clients, and it's very particular in there as well, where people just go, "Oh, just to get the job." Well, actually, do you want the job if you're not even going to be able to pay yourself at the end of it?
Yeah.
Which is mad.
Yeah. It's as I say, could go on forever and ever, but just a bit of a highlight.
Yeah, don't make that mistake. Don't undercharge. And the fourth mistake people make is the flip reverse of when your business is going good, you're getting loads of clients, people stop marketing. You've got to think ahead. So are we marketing for today? Absolutely not. I can't take a client on today and start work today, because then I don't know where tomorrow's come in. So you've always got to market ahead. And I was talking to another client about this. They like to have 3 months worth of work ahead. So they will be working on now, getting inquiries so they can quote for month 3, 4, 5. Because it's really important for them to, again, pay their bills, pay for food, live, to have that work ongoing. And especially when you have a team as well, you need to make sure that work's coming in. So people are very much, marketing gets forgotten about because they're too busy. So they haven't got that drive to put themselves out there and do what they need to do. But that work, everyone could cancel next week and then you haven't got anything. So it is really, really important to just have that in you and make sure you're constantly marketing. So like the podcast, evergreen content. We put it on YouTube, evergreen content. So you can always find us and we're out there. And it's not, okay, I do post on social media every single day. I mean, I record it and draft it, so I'm not actually recording and doing it every single day. But something goes out every day, which is really, really important because it's flipping up on someone's social media at different times.
I think the way that you kind of put it there about, thinking of that future potential customer, you build in that kind of opportunity for further down the road. But also, instead of like the marketing side of things, you post several things on the one day because you haven't got any business. And then when you suddenly do have business, the marketing goes out the window, or it goes to the bottom of the pile, a bit like remembering those figures. It just will help with consistency when if you commit to, right, every week we're going to post X amount of times on Y platforms, then that will help. So
yeah, definitely. So market, but always market, whether it's good, bad, just make sure you're marketing. And the fifth thing for people make mistakes with, again, this is so my personality trait and I'm awful at, is asking for help. You can't do it all yourself. When you start a business, yes, it's quiet. Yes, you're starting it. And yes, you want to hit the ground running. But very, very quickly, if your marketing works and your inquiries come in, you can't do it all yourself. You need to sit and go, what can I outsource? And also, you start a business because you're an expert in what you do. You don't start a business so you can do, oh, I need to do my books, I need to do my admin, I need to do my ordering, etc., etc., etc. So it's that making sure you're working out, okay, what are my weaknesses? What could I ask for help with? What can I afford help with? And it does feel like nothing at first. And if you're a control freak like me, you'll want to do it all. But it's realising you need to relinquish that and not do it.
It's the hardest thing, though, isn't it? It is the hardest thing.
Worst. I hate it.
But I like what you said there. It's trying to work out what is it that either doesn't light you up. It's like that thing that kind of you really dragging your heels and doing. Maybe it's knowing your figures. Maybe it's the social media side of things. In which case, that should be the thing that you outsource or ask for help with first.
Yeah.
I also pick up quite a lot of this from when we have the networking sessions.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just asking for another opinion. Like, am I going a bit loopy here, or is everyone else experiencing this problem, or has anyone else been through this? Yeah. Sometimes just asking and having that little bit of vulnerability, because it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, completely.
I think that was always a useful thing, and rather than it being a pressure cooker that it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then kaboom, you got to try and find a route to helping you do the best work that you can do. Yeah,
completely. And then they could become part of your team. And I'm not saying employ people. The government's made it ridiculously difficult to employ people. I won't be employing someone else because it's just, let's again.
At the moment.
Whole nother issue. But it's subbing it out. What can you sub out to? Can you sub? So I've just subbed out my newsletters. So I've got someone else doing my newsletters for me. Is it that I need my own bookkeeping accounts doing? Is it that I can do... It's a really bad example because I just... But it's what can you sub out and give to someone else to do? Like this podcast, for example. We met because I was like, right, you can do my podcast, Liam. Yeah. Off you go.
Instead of having to learn it yourself, you've decided that, the amount of time that you'd invest in doing that, and then all the production side of things, like it's not going to be as lucrative as doing what you do, and I think that's the other thing that like kind of I've learned from yourself is you've also kind of incorporated the extended team. Yeah. So it's not just buying in help, it's also helping each other out as well. And I think that, I think I've used this analogy before, but it's instead of kind of being on the defensive and thinking of it like everyone's trying to pull you down, if you're trying to help other people up as well, especially if you're it's one of those things that's not necessarily your expertise. Yeah. You can ask for help. Say, I've got this client here. Lou Brandon's a great example. Yeah. I've got this client. They want a website, but they're not ready for a website yet because they haven't got a logo. They don't know what colors they want. Their fonts are going to be right for them. Go and speak to Lou first. Then they come back. Yeah. You've asked for that help with somebody else, and then they've come back to you, so you can do your job even better.
Yeah, completely. And it's finding that expert in what they do. Yes, I probably could. If I had at least a week to sit and work out how to record a podcast, I mean, I haven't got the equipment, but I could sit on my phone or a laptop, as some people do, record the podcast, then edit it, then sign up to the whatever platforms we sign up to that it's on. But then how do you just sign up to Spotify and put it on there? No, it doesn't work like that. We use
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout. See, this is my lack of knowledge. But it's all of that I don't have to worry about because you've got an expert doing it for you. And that's where it's valuing your time on that as well. So I value my time doing other things. So the fact I can sit here, record it and go, okay, and then it appears, it's like the magic washing fairies at home. I don't have them at home anymore. I moved out a lot of years ago.
What are they?
But it's that, oh, look, you see, my washing's done and folded on my bed. Ta-da! Same with when you bring in an expert to your business to do it for you. And it's bringing in the right person. And I think that's really, really important. When you're asking for help and when you're asking for someone to do that, it's finding the right person to work with you, because it's letting go of what your business is and what you do. So don't just go to who Dave down the pub's recommended. Get 2 or 3 quotes, get a feel for the people, because trust me, too many times I've had people come to me because they haven't got the relationship and what they want from who they've asked for help from, because they've panicked and just got somewhere in. Well, actually, no, let's take some time, find the right person, because together they should help. No matter what they do for you, it should be in part to help your business thrive. Whether it's someone you need, if you need an accountant, that's fine. Everyone needs an accountant, but it needs to be the right accountant, and charging should be accordingly compared to your turnover, not, oh my God, I've got to pay that fee.
And I think also, like, if you're stuck in a rut as well, if you feel like kind of, I know you've had some conversations recently that I've been in the office at the same time that they've been happening. You know, some people have been working with a particular professional for a number of years, and they just feel like they're not getting quite the value or quite
not the
service that they're kind of expecting or that they're signed up for. And, you know, if it's feeling a little bit stale, then perhaps ask for a second opinion. And not to badmouth that person, but just to make sure that you're getting the right help.
Completely. So there are 5 mistakes. Let us know if we've missed, or are there more? I mean, there'll always be more.
There's more.
There's so many more. We've made so many more mistakes, but there's the top 5 to get everyone started. So if you can relate to this, or you know someone struggling, please share this episode with them. And as always, like and subscribe and review the podcast. It helps with a small podcast like ours. And we will see you next episode.